I was asking about, the type of homework that you get, and, how tedious is that? What's involved in that?
So the homework that she gives is mostly just the journaling. Like, she's big on getting you to journal. And then at the end, she gave us a book. I don't know if this is her latest book or not. But she gave us a book at the end. But then I told you, I do a lot of her. I was a fan before we started. This is her until today. It's like an everyday, quotes and stuff. So do a lot of that. And in her book, she talks a lot about breath work. So I make sure I do my breath work every day. Knowing those triggers, like making sure I know those, and I, breathe whenever I see them. And
what would you say your triggers are?
Mostly like when something just doesn't go your way, like a quick example in Walmart the other day where I went to return something and the girl was like, they're not accepting returns. And I'm like, this is Walmart, you know what I'm saying? Like, I almost showed out on her. But I actually, I realized that, that's one of my triggers. If something just doesn't go your way and immediately, you want it to happen immediately. And so I was able to just, say my little code word and walk away and do my breaths. And I just came back the next day when it was somebody else at the counter who did my return, just little stuff like that, little everyday things that usually you either will have negative thoughts or say negative things. For me, my biggest thing, I think, is being careful with my mouth, knowing, hurtful words and, that type stuff. So just being very aware. I feel like for me, I was going through life so fast, I just wasn't slowing down to be aware of my actions and my behaviors,
And do you
so just very intentional and aware, journaling, meditating in the mornings, and being comfortable with me, because I know who I was, so a lot of that was behavior showing up from just not knowing.
Yeah. And the trauma, because the episode was called Trauma Train.
Yes. And all the trauma.
Triggers still remaining from the trauma of abusive relationships or whatever it was.
Well, not so much. Like, before I went to the show, I kind of asked my boyfriend to give me some time to myself. And so, because I really prepared, like I said, I knew it was going to be life-changing for me, and I took it very serious. I felt like I couldn't go on there and be totally me and totally tell everything and be worried about, a boyfriend and what he's going to think and what we got going on. So I kind of backed off from that for a minute. And so I'm still in that place of, I told him, I've never been single. Since I was 15, I've always been in relationships. Wow. Yeah. Never been single. So even when that, I told him, I just need time to find me and be by myself for a minute.
Yeah.
So life-changing. I did everything. I was really preparing. I took it really serious, and I'm still finding hobbies. What do I like? Who are you? Who am I?
Learning yourself.
Yeah, because I was mom from 15, 16 on. So this is my first feeling of not being, not having to take care of people, not having to control y'all lives and tell y'all what to do and where to go and how to do it, and just finding me. So that's my new journey, and my homework. and even with the grandkids, seeing them when I want to, not because I have to or because you're gonna get mad if I don't keep them, and I put them on my schedule.
Children now. I feel strongly about these things. You would think I have children or I'm a grandmother, and I'm neither. But I feel very strongly. I'm like, have kids for yourself. No one owes you anything.
Yeah.
Calculate the cost before you have these children. And so you're not angry at someone for not being able to look after them or any of that.
So I don't know if y'all kind of got that from the show, but all of us, we're all very entitled. You know, that's how my kids are to me. That's how I was to my mom. Like, you gonna do what I asked you to do, or I'm mad and I'm gonna cut you off and I'm gonna act a fool. Like, that was a part of our pathology. So just changing those behaviors, you know, try not to say anything negative, because that's the first thing, you know, that's my go-to.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with family dynamic. You know, there's a lot of entitlement in family dynamics. Like, yes, everybody take their role and let's go into family dynamic. And there's a time where you outgrow the family dynamic, and then it's not entitled to still have you in that role that you've outgrown, and that becomes a problem for a number of years until you stand your ground, until they give up on trying to include you, pull you back into that family dynamic, because it's not usually a very constructive family dynamic anyway.
Right.
It's really very toxic. But you know, and when you try to get out of it, it's like, what do you mean? How come you get to be saved from all of this and we remain, you know?
So I did my little YouTube channel to, you know, kind of show people things I do to continue, you know, healing and working on me.
And what has the response been? I saw one of your videos, just, you know, like a everyday talk. I remember.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I hadn't gotten a lot of response, you know, but I just feel like for whoever's out there who's curious, who's like, well, you know, how do you heal? Like we said, it's one thing to go there and do the forgiving. It's another thing after the show. So, you know, I figure if I can help one or two people, I'm happy with that.
And also to just create a full picture of the person, because I think the other thing is that, you know, the shows are just a slice of someone's life. It's not your entire life. And, you know, and it's not fair to make a complete, if you're making a judgment, at least on someone's life, it's not fair, because you're making a judgment on like a slice and you're treating it as if it's their entire life, you know?
Right. That too.
There's a whole other, you know, life going on.
Right.
Well, I'm so glad
it is daily work, because, you know, that's years of that behavior, you know, that you're trying to change. So I have to be very conscious every day.
Yeah. But I mean, fortunately, I started doing this work in my late teens, late teens. And I just feel like that's the best kind of wealth you can have, just having a level kind of perspective and mindset and knowledge of yourself, you know, and just move through the world with clear eyes and be ready as well to receive, particularly from God, just feedback, to make adjustments and to make changes, you know. And you know, it's you know, if I didn't have anything else, just having myself and having that journey of self-knowledge and depth into, you know, my own self, I'm good, you know. So I'm just so happy for you that you're on this like journey with yourself and just discovering yourself, you know, learning about yourself and, you know, course correcting. And, you know, you can't erase everything, but everything is there to be learned from, you know?
Yeah. I'm grateful.
Most definitely.
But I caught Iyanla before she wrapped it up. She said the universe did that.
Right. And you know what? I think whoever caught her this season, it literally was the hand of God. Like, she's about to wrap it up and charge you for it now, going forward.
That was the other thing. I was like, I know I'm going to get millions of dollars worth of therapy for free, so let me take advantage. Like,
let me be present for this. I don't know about everybody else, what they're going to do. I'm going to be present for this.
That's exactly how I was. Really. I'm like, that's exactly how I felt. I am here. I'm so ready. Yes.
If you've been watching her since the 80s, you know that to have that opportunity, don't play.
Yep.
Don't play.
She said you go through 7 people before it gets to her. You know? Like, Yeah, like it took a lot to get there. Like I knew that, that was meant to be, and I was going to make the most out of that.
Right. Absolutely.
So, yes.
But does anyone know that you're doing it?
Nobody but my boyfriend. Well, my sort of boyfriend. Right now, he waiting on me to find out who I am.
Right.
But we still, talk every day, and he's a good guy. Cause and I said, even on that part where she asked me like, well, what's your idea of a good man? I told him, I said, I wanted to say you, but they would have really killed me for that. They'd be like, a boyfriend, she used to abusive men. But I do have a really good other half. And yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, he's a good guy.
That's good.
But he knows this, and he encouraged me to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to be with someone who's going to encourage you towards healing,
Right.
Instead of saying, what you did that for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the red flag right there if he was against it. Don't put your business out on the street. Red flag.
No, he was supposed to come with me.
Really?
And yeah, right before it was time to go, I changed my mind. I was like, no, I don't want this to be about us. I need it to be about me. I just need to focus on. Yeah.
Good move, because then I can see you're not my daddy somewhere there.
Yeah. Yes, he was supposed to come because he was kind of like they liked him because he was so calm and mellow, and it was like he was just like the calm, cool guy in the middle of all of the chaos. So he was like, you're gonna need me to be there to be positive because they're gonna paint this picture of you. And I was like, no, I can handle it. It's okay. I don't, I'm always dependent on a man, had a man. I'm just doing this for me.
Yeah. Because then it would have looked like you bringing your own team of people to agree with you, and their team, and they all agree. So it would have created this 2-team thing, and that would not have been constructive.
Right. I'm glad I did it the way I did it.
And how are you making sure these days that people are feeling, I know you said with Justin, just be careful with your words, but with your daughter, and I mean, just in dealing with people, that people are feeling safe with you, and that.
Like I said, because I backed off so much, like even with Lauren, when we talk or we do something, I don't even ask her about her personal love life anymore, and just like I told you, leading by example, let her see what I'm doing, that I go to the little sister circles, that, and I try to give her the advice. I sent her little YouTube videos on stuff that I found, did a moon ceremony with her, just trying to teach her the positive things that I've learned through Iyanla, through my readings stuff.
Right. So, yeah. And just letting people know that, hey, if you need me, I'm here. I'm not, you don't not have access to me. I'm here,
Yep. And that's just how I do it. I do a little group text, like, at least once a week with her, Caleb, and KJ, which is positive, grand rising, hope everybody have a positive day, love you guys, stuff like that. Yeah. So that I'm not, in their business. Well, what you doing? Well, where you going? Well, don't do that. Just a positive, I love you, and, be productive today.
I think it must be so difficult. I think that's the reason why I've stayed off the whole parenting thing for a long time. I think that being parents of grown people and watching them walk into walls and just letting it be
it's hard.
Must be very difficult. And then it must be very difficult.
It is, and it's a transition, like I said, just learning that I have my own life and I don't, and trusting them, like I told them, trusting that you're gonna make good choices, because that child can make these bad decisions, like
even if they do, like you I'm sure you've had your season of bad choices and you're still here, you made it through, and trusting that, okay, there's a higher power that's going to make sure that they're going to make it through, because ultimately I'm just a steward, this was for a season, and then I need to give them back to their creator. And then, and
yeah, it's hard. I told you, KJ out there pursuing a rap career, and I'm like, yay, you. But on the inside, I'm like, oh my God.
Like
all those years of money I put into all that basketball, I just knew he was going off on a basketball scholarship.
No, he'll come back around. He'll come back around, but he needs to learn some things. He needs to learn some life things.
Yeah, that's what I told him. You young enough, so
yeah.
A part of my healing too. I booked me a trip to Barbados all by myself.
And you went?
I go in March. I was supposed to go the day after the show. I booked it I was like, after the show, I'm going over there for like 3 weeks just to clear my mind. I was so tired after that show, I had to cancel. I was like, I can't think, much less travel. I stayed in the bed like 2 days after that.
Yeah.
Just to recoup. So draining.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I was thinking I was going to go hop on a plane.
So,
okay, well, I look forward to seeing how you put it all together and everything.
Yeah.
And again, I appreciate you and your energy. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your weekend.
Yes. Thank you so much. You too.
All righty.
Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I wish you all the best going forward. And, I think
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Subscribe to my channel and check me out sometime.
I did watch one of your videos, like I told you. So I'll check you out. I'll say hi. I'll say hi.
Okay. All right, so that is it. I am wondering what your thoughts are. I'm very interested in hearing from you down below what you think about this conversation. All in all, I will say that, like we said in the conversation, that everyone has a perspective and on what happened in situations, and it's difficult sometimes to accept that it's valid, whatever perspective that someone has or whatever the experience that someone else had, but it's the respectful thing to do, because if you want your own perspective and experience to be respected, then other people's perspectives and experiences need to be respected as well, or at least heard and validated as valid, as real for them and as true for them. So, but I would, all in all, I would say, this was an amazing human being, amazing conversation. And, I was not having this conversation to catch her out in any form, shape, or way. I just was interested in what it is that she wanted to purge and wanted to share, and the things that she wanted to straighten out, or, just give bigger pictures. And there were things that were surprising to me. As you can tell, in the show that aired, the Iyanla Vanzant show, from what I remember, it's that she was gone for 12 years from her children, Justin, and the one just after Justin, the daughter. But, as you've just heard from the conversation, it was only a 3-month, duration. It was only a 3-month duration, if it even made it to 3 months. So I don't know how editing works and all of that, but what I got a sense of is that Yolanda is very open to hearing how we saw things, based on the information that was provided on the show. How I saw things, rather, let me speak for myself, how I saw things based on the information that was provided on the show, and that my insights and my feedback and my thoughts were based on the information that's provided. And I think it's an eye-opener to see that, there is a greater picture behind what is provided on the show, that cannot be, not of value just because the show is full of experts. I understand that the experts then comb through what information is given, and then they focus on a certain set of information. But I think whatever they put to the side is also as important to bring the picture together and to create a more full picture and an understanding of what had happened. And so I thought it was very interesting to have this conversation and just get her own perspective on the show and her own experience on the show. And I think this is not about, oh, do I believe her? Do I not believe her? Do I think she's BSing or not? Not about that. This is not what this channel is about. But I'm happy to learn that she's on this journey of self-discovery and just making peace and making amends and, you know, course correcting. And I think that's formidable in itself, to get to a point in life where you look back and you try to make amends and you course correct and make correct the things that, you know, you perhaps misstepped in because you were young, because you had little information or experience. And I think that is formidable. That's something that I absolutely applaud her on. And just that, you know, and to learn that she's pouring growth into herself and pouring maturity and cultivating that within herself. You know, I can't be mad at that. But you tell me right below in the comment section what your thoughts are. I had a great time talking to Yolanda. She's a wonderful person. The person I spoke to was a wonderful person, and you know, so let me know. Thank you for watching. Like I said, obviously this is her view. This is not other people's view, and all the other people, you know, I'm not going to have any more conversations with anyone else. But from this episode, but what I will say is that, like I said, this is her views, and I don't in speaking about our intention, you know, it was not to put down anyone and, you know, make someone look bad or make someone look a certain way. And so I hope that is discernible in the conversation. And yeah, I thank you for watching, continuing to watch. If you have not yet subscribed, please consider it, and it's up to you. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and share with your friends, and like, and keep coming back. I am constantly just going with the leading of God in terms of what to do with this channel. You know, this is not about me. This is about what God wants me to do. And even just this meeting and this conversation with Yolanda, I was just like, what? You know, no one's asked to have this kind of conversation with me subsequent to a review or insights sharing here on the show. I mean, here on the insights sharing here on the channel. So I'm just glad that God is just doing his thing with his channel that just happens to be run and, you know, administered by me. And whatever direction he's going, that's the direction I'm going. This is not about anything else but what God wants to do with this channel. So I hope you can rock with me as I do that with God. And like I always tell you, I appreciate you so much for stopping by. I will see you again next time. Bye.